Grail, definitely yes. There is a definite impact in reduction of global blindness. But remember, whatever has been told is based on all this RCTs, randomized controlled data, or what I call red carpet treatment, because these patients, on trials are called every time. So therefore, instead of RCT, randomized controlled trials, we call them red carpet kind of treatment, which they get. But all of us are aware of the Luminous study. The real world scenario is totally different than this. And you see, a lot of information is there on this. But the biosimilars entered primarily to improve the compliance. You see, key issue is compliance. Key issue is finance, ultimately. So I'll request Ashish to please come in and tell us today, biosimilars, what is the role? Because affordability is an issue, is a very big issue. Yes, Ashish. And Ashish, we know, has done a lot of work. He is one man authority on biosimilars in this country.
So good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you, Dr. Lalit, for giving me this opportunity to be a part of this wonderful meeting. So we have been trying to understand biosimilars since last 4 to 5 years closely, and I would be going to talk about not only Indian biosimilars, but I would also be touching the what is happening overall across the globe as far as biosimilars are concerned. How do I advance this? Okay. So this is our contribution in the form of various publications. We have been trying to understand biosimilars from different point of view, whether it's an endotoxin, whether it's an inflammation, what is a phase 3 trial design, what is the kind of awareness that you have not only in India, but across the globe. So this is what that we could contribute, and I would definitely like to acknowledge this fantastic group of people across the globe who have helped us in understanding these molecules, because they were in development stage when this country was already using them. So before I start, I would like to have a small kind of poll here, that how many of you, if I can have raise of hands, are user of biosimilar ranibizumab, which is available in this country? Brilliant. So at least I see 70% of audiences using biosimilar ranibizumab. I'll go further one step. How many of you use Razumab, which is from Intas? How many of you use Renize, which is from Lupin? How many of you use another molecule from Reliance, Renizorail? So this shows here Intas is leading. Obviously, they were first, and we are proud that that was a company which has established this country as a leader in biosimilar world in 2015-16. That's why you see 70% of users. I was in a different session with Dr. Dogra yesterday, and once he showed the statistics of PGI Chandigarh, they had highest usage of biosimilars, then comes the innovator. So that's what biosimilars have done in this country. And you see Renia is coming on second, and Renizorail comes third. So biosimilar overall, just for sake of saying, but as of now, we know that this country understands biosimilars better than anywhere in the world. So these are the similar molecules, but they are not exactly the same molecule. But the problem lies whenever you talk about that these are not similar molecules, that's where the negative perception comes. But if you really see, if a molecule, if I say, Lucentis, if I get it from Europe, if I get it from US, they would be different. Because there is a different machinery. These go through the live cells. So two batches cannot be same. But regulatory requires that you need to prove that these differences are not clinically meaningful. Clinically meaningful means they do not differ in terms of clinical efficacy and safety. Why biosimilars? Dr. Rajendran has put up nice presentation of all the innovator molecules just now. But can we afford them? Can we afford the kind of regime? As Dr. Lalit rightly said, real world is different. Our average injection rate is approximately 3. But what biosimilars have done, because of the cost benefit, you can inject many more. I can treat my father with confidence with continuous injections now, which I was not before. Now, what is the status? As of now, across the globe, only biosimilar ranibizumab is available because the patent is expired. But aflibercept biosimilars would be available in 2027. That is going to make a big change across the globe, especially to this country. Entire world uses Eylea at this point as a predominant user. We do not use that, again, because of the price point, in spite of having a great drug. But we would change, the dynamics would completely change once biosimilar aflibercepts are available. As of now, just for understanding, there are 3 companies which make biosimilars: Resumab, Biintas, Renize, Bilupin. You must have heard the name Osiva. Somebody is coming to your door. That is the same product because Lupin manufactures it. As of now, Sun Pharma distributes it. Ranizurel from Reliance Life Sciences, they make it. Cipla distribute it. Japan, you have another biosimilar named ranibizumab BS1. US and UK, everybody was waiting for this because people were having negative perception about India. But once it started since 2 years, 2 drugs are approved. SB11 BioViz, same name by US FDA and EMA. Another molecule which was known as FYB201 in trial, but they have different name in different countries. For example, I was in a different session, Dr. Jaishankar was there. So now NHS has designed a step therapy that biosimilar ranibizumab has to be used first. And it is known as Ongavia because everywhere you need to preserve finance. That can be allotted in something different. You can increase manpower. In US FDA, it is Cimerelli. Ranibizio in EMA. So they are different name but the same drug, just for the understanding. Is there a differentiator for clinicians? Means sometimes you have a confusion that what should I use? If you look at the clinical trial design in India, last 3 months, I would as of now say that Renize had the best clinical trial design till now. They got award yesterday. Because it was apple to apple, same kind of, patients, number of patients in both the arms. But we have grown up. It's not, the previous trials were not great, but because we have evolved, understanding has evolved. Now you look at the US trials, they had more number of patients. And they do trial till 12 months. Indian trials were till 3 months, 6 months. But does that make Indian molecules inferior? No, it all depends on what your regulatory wants and what this country needs. This country needed things, approval faster. Now next question comes, do we have real world data? As of now, molecules which are approved by FDA, EMA, we do not have real world data. Japanese molecule, we do not have real world data. I am in close relationship with them. Probably we would bring it. Indian biosimilars, yes. Ranizurel, we published this with their limited data. You cannot really establish safety, but I would touch on the safety part as well. Renize started well. Now they have almost 15,000 injections without any safety issues. Largest real world data comes from Resumab with 550,000 injections. Obviously, they started first. So this I've already told you, Resumab has approval for all the indications. Renize had accept ROP. Ranizurel, as of now, labeled indication is neovascular AMD. Now I'll touch upon few of the cases just to show you sometimes there is a inhibition and people think that whether they would work the same. Just to show you that these molecules work as good as your innovator molecules. Resumab, you must have seen real-world prediction. Deb Dulal is sitting there. So he had done wonderful work as far as real-world data is concerned from Desai Hospital. So I would share some of the Renize data from my practice. There's a DME case after 1 injection, resolved well. Means I'll quickly go through this. Again, DME case, NSD with IRF resolves very well. Again, comes back because again 4 weekly injections. We shifted on a CM scheme, Tamil Nadu, where I practice. CM scheme, Avastin comes free of cost. Again, diabetic, responded well. RVO, again, NSD with IRF, responded well. These are all Renize cases. Again, RVO responded well. Neovascular AMD, after a couple of injections, you see hemorrhagic PD goes off. OCT looks pretty. And again, you see a parapapillary CNVM that also responds very well. Means a spectrum of cases just to show that it is efficacious in all the indications. So do not have negative perception about these molecules. That's the way we can serve this country, and that's what happens in the last 7 years. Where we were in 2016, that's where United States and Europe stands as of now. I was in Portugal last month. I was in a debate that whether these molecules can rule US and Europe as well. I said, this would happen because we also started the same way with the negative perception. I was a big critic of biosimilars. But now means I can say with authority that I can use that in my near and dears. And Europe is testament. There's no molecule which has been withdrawn for safety reasons. Future lies in biobetters. And this is the last slide. What I would say is there is a possibility of waiving of phase 3 trials going forward. We are talking today. I would see you all after 10 years, and that might happen. Already UK has taken a step for ways, because that's how you can transfer the real benefit of these molecules for clinicians, because novel assets could be unpredictable. For example, brolucizumab. But biosimilars, they already have a track record and they emulate a molecule which has safety and efficacy established. So the chances of surprise are much, much less. And if we believe them, I'm sure we can change many lives, not only in this country, but across the globe. Thank you for your kind attention, and I'm happy to take any questions.
Thank you so much, Ashish. The entire world is moving towards biosimilars. And thank you for this loud and very vociferous talk on the utility, and what Anand said, that you see anti-VEGFs have potential to reduce the blindness by half. And here is the role of because you see any treatment launched by anybody should not only be effective and safe, but should be affordable also. And hence the role of biosimilars. And I'm sure Intas will carry him on their shoulders once they go out, the way he started. But one question to you is that in your experience, although Razumab has the largest, in terms of biosimilars in India, and was the first biosimilar to be launched all across the globe, any difference between 3 or 4 biosimilars which are available, whatever data we have about Reliance and Osiva and Razumab or Vijumab? I personally feel there's a tug of war now between the rate reduction and the schemes which company gives. So your take in very brief.
So as of now, sir, I think it is difficult to point out that because all the trial designs were similar, with loss of 15 letters. The only one thing which I would say what Lupin has done well means they are analyzing much deeper. What they have analyzed in the recent past is that
let's not are they all of them efficacious?
All of them are efficacious, because we have to believe on the trial.
All of them are safe?
All of them are safe.
So given the choice, whosoever gives me cheapest, I'll purchase that.
Cheapest, yes. Financial dynamics.
That answers my question.
Yes, absolutely.
Although the Razumab has the largest, still lakhs and lakhs of vials, where all these small babies are just coming up. That's it.
What I was trying to suggest is, for example, when Intas Razumab was launched, if you have noticed, there was a paper from Basel, Switzerland by Novartis head office.
Yeah.
What they did was they did compare some of the batches of Novartis with some of the initial batches of Intas. So I would suggest, even Intas, Retinal, whosoever is there, inter-comparison little bit should happen in terms of the more, deeper details of endotoxins or, structural similarity. Means that would give us some more clues.
So that is your job. That I think you should do that. So one question.
Thank you so much.